All right, good afternoon. I appreciate folks being here. I don't usually start this way, but I would like to start with a reminder after experiencing the council processes on the budget for the last 2 years, most particularly this year with Psalm 133. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for folk to dwell together in unity. We had a wonderful process. And if you think about what the psalm means beyond just the obvious part of those words, not just good, but pleasant it is when people can come together and work on something as important as the budget, but all of the other conversations that stemmed from it. And I would take note that if anybody goes back and looks at it, there was a whole lot of other policy discussed, a whole lot of ideas generated. I think a gutsy amendment that we're doing with Reignite, but I think if we are dwelling together, as the psalm says, that we can support that with our partners like LSUA and others and take those risks despite our concerns. I appreciate Getty's representative being here. Thank you, sir, Mr. Chairman. And so just a way to start and remember why we do this and that is the right spirit within which to proceed forward. I'll also make a comment that I thought Madam President handled the meetings well, and they were as good as any I've ever participated in many, many years. And it takes a certain patience and deftness of hand to navigate through all the things that can happen in those meetings. And we from the administration really appreciate the opportunity the council afforded us, and we hope that we returned that during that open process that we had. And with that, I'll get started.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Community services, events, vendors, entertainment. The band lineup is out. I have Tanya up here with me. We can talk about that in a moment, but I'll first say that with the vendors on food, the list I was given as of today for dinner on the bricks at the Riverfed is Delish, Cafe de Soda, Caro, Creole Cockpit, Funnel Cake Lady, OLS, Sweet Latte, Royal Onion, Diamond Grill in the Bentley Room. That could change. There may be other things there, but nice variety and certainly a diverse group of people participating. And so we hope that you're happy with that. The lineup will be Confunction will be the headliner for one night, right? Saturday night, and the Friday night headliner is
I'm sorry, Confunction is Friday night headliner.
Yes.
And opening for Confunction is Rebirth by Brass Band.
Okay, so Rebirth, if you're into New Orleans music, you're going to know who Rebirth is for sure. Yeah, this is some Grammy-winning stuff. And Confunction will be the headliner, and then I believe that Uncle Lucius is headlining the other night?
No, he's opening up for...
Oh, you got him open? Or they? Uncle Lucius is technically not the person, it's the band. But anyway, everyone knows their hit, so they've got a few others, but they're a big one. So it ought to be a real fun weekend. We'll have DJ Tony Groove here, one of our local celebs, doing a whole bunch of work. There are some surprises. I guess it's out about a Ferris wheel. I was hoping that it'd be hard to keep that secret if it's out there around the mini park, but it's nice to have new things. I commend you and your team, Tanya, for doing new things. I call it spectacleism. We try to do that with the Winterfed, always have things that get people's attention, and I think this will be nice for the Riverfed. So anyway, lots to do. I'll let that unpack a little more as the week goes on, but remember there's the Car Fete, Queuing on the Red, which is bigger and bigger every year, and it's downtown, and it fits in this footprint rather well. We'll have, in addition to Car Fete and Queuing, we're going to have a whole bunch of other partners, including our Art Fete partners and everybody, Indie Fete, the animal shelter, all kind of things will be happening. So just come out and enjoy it. It is an event that offers a whole lot of fun and opportunity for fun for families, and it is oriented that way. I will add that we already had a big unpack on security changes, especially after what happened in New Orleans. We were moving toward those things anyway. You will see that the footprint is secured differently, that we will, for the first time at this event, be having a secure entry. Cities hate to move toward that, but it is absolutely the standard of care. To do less would be wrong. So we think the way it's set up will allow people to still enjoy and have a good time, and we're not concerned that it's the right thing to do, and I think people will feel better, and you get more people coming out feeling better about it. So with that, I'll go over just a couple other things that are happening today. Kelly Roberts Band is playing at 4. The 12th, LSU A basketball camp. The 17th is Step Rito. April 21 through 25, we'll have some spring break activities going on. All of this can be accessed on our website, right? Are there any other ways at Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay. April 23, LSUA soccer camp at Big Island. Thank you, LSUA. April 26, Sickle Cell Walk. May 1 through 3 is the River Fete. May 17, the Holy Fest. June 6, Party in the Park at Martin Park. June 13, Party in the Park at Franco Hunter. June 13 through 14, Pride. June 14, Juneteenth. June 19, Party in the Park at City Park. June 23 through 27, Journalism Camp. June 30 through July 3rd, Healthy Living Camp. June 30 through July 3rd, Art Camp. These are all different offerings at different spaces. July 4th, of course, Rock the Red. July 7 through 11, Finance Camp. July 7 through 10, Art Camp. July 14 through 18, Fire and Police Camp. July 21 through 25, the STEM Camp. July 28 through 31, Art Camp. And July 28, our Back to School Bash. So it'll be a packed summer of activities to support what we did with our Reignite Amendment that I appreciate, again, you guys doing. We have a list of the first proposed set of those Reignite park improvements. I'm going to file these with Donna today. If they're in any way different from the other sheet we gave, it's maybe we're tweaking things. Again, welcome your comments. Helen Black, Charles Smith, Franco Hunter, City Park, Cheatham, Deborah Bowman on this first list. Helen Black, $272,000. Charles Smith, $397,000. Franco Hunter, $361,000. City Park, $449,000. Cheatham, $289,000. Deborah Bowman, $375,000. So, and then there's a little short list of the kinds of things you would see in each of those. With the Reignite Amendment, this is bigger now, Gary. This was kind of what we're doing. We're going to get bigger each time, but this probably adds up to that, what, 2 point? Right at 2 million. I think what we moved over brought it all together to be 2.29. But remember, that's us moving forward right away, and then we'll program other things as we go. It's not all the money, it's just this is the Reignite Parks. So, Gary, I know you had some things. Those things will not be a problem to program into. Okay. All right, so that'll be put in there. I'm going to leave this list so that you guys can use it any way you need to.
I'm going to leave flyers for all of the events that he went over. If anybody wants to see those.
All right, enhanced security. Again, we did a real big unpack a few weeks ago, so I'm not going to do that today. But our new map will show the ingress, egresses, and all of that. The idea is those things that pose a risk, backpacks and other things that aren't clear, that we can't tell, we've just got to, that's not going to be okay. Ice chest, those kind of things you bring in, all of that has to change. We have a lot of other technology that'll be deployed out there. We know we can't harden to the point of hard fence lines and everything else, but we will have wristbanding or other identification markers for those who are supposed to be here. So if you sneak in because you think it's easy to sneak in, understood, but if you don't have the credentials to be in, you'll be asked to leave. So make sure that parents make sure that people are supervised, and I know kids are kids, and if it's not a hard enough environment, they may walk in, but there could be a consequence to it. That's not threatening, and that's not meaning arrest. That's meaning they might not get to stay in the event. So let's all work together to do that. This is for our community to enjoy a safe event. Tanya and her team visited with New York City recently, who are probably the best at hardening parades and those kind of events in the world. And really, I think, learned a lot of things and will make our team smarter about it. We will probably increase some of these rules as we go into other park usage, neighborhood events, use of barricades, et cetera. Again, folks, I know that's not fun to hear, but it's about allowing a maximum amount of people to enjoy things and not be subject to the worst thing you could have imagined happening to people. And that is shots fired and a kid or someone or an adult injured or killed. And so that balance of liberty and security, we have to have it in place. We want to make things where people feel that same amount of liberty, but that security is there. And we are looking at technology to help us do that. We need to remind people to work with us. There are many great events where people have walks, marches, et cetera. And they may have those events and have never had to get a permit, never thought about it. I hear about them during the weeks. Sometimes someone will bring up, or I'll get a complaint to me. But they're doing something different. And it may be not that the city's doing differently. It may be just that no one ever picked it up. But closing off streets, while it became a thing, and probably more so during COVID, we put having people outside, is not a thing. It is a felony to close a state route without some kind of permit and public purpose. This isn't heavy-handed stuff, guys. We will work with anybody that comes to you guys or anybody out here to reroute, make your thing work for you. You just got to work with us on what we need the route to be, where we need you to stage, maybe how you ingress and egress to where you're going. Maybe it stays on one side of a road. Maybe you can't block a whole street that has access to healthcare facilities, right? Those are things we have to think about. So when you hear the city's changing it, get to your leadership. Don't blow up the council members and all of us. Have your point of contact Tanya, and we will work it out. Facebook, not the place to work it out. I mean, you can do what you want, but that's not the way to build the type of camaraderie and collegiality to work it out. You got the right to do it, but it's so much easier to call and go, how can we make this work? And remember, if you work with us, there's more resources we can offer to help secure your event, to help partner with you. So don't look at it as a negative, look at it as an opportunity. Listen, I encourage, call your councilman, that is great. But remember, you can't put on a single council person that they're going to resolve it. What it helps to do to call a council person is it probably jumps you to the top of the list. Not scared to say it, that's the role, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You feel like you're not being heard or you're caught in a loop with the city or its employees, you feel like you're not getting to me or something, you call a council person, I promise you it's going to get to me. It's 10 seconds off the phone call with them. I get that. Nothing wrong with that. But then once it's in that loop, let us do the job. And we may relate back through that council person to you because that makes sense. You started there and it may be a good, but the council person, you can't hold them to, I wanted to do something, it isn't legal or even possible, so I'm going to hold, that's not, they don't do that. They act with 4, they can change policy with 4 votes, a majority vote. But even the council can't enact a policy that makes public safety at risk, because that goes back to us and police and fire. So let's not put each other in those positions, let's work together. Again, all you have to do is call. We want you to have events. We want folks outside enjoying our infrastructure, parks, and everything else we have as much as anything. Y'all have heard about all these good ratings we're getting as a retirement community, as an outdoor community. We want you enjoying it. And the council is committed in Reignite to spend the money to make those, that put that infrastructure in the best stead they can. So they're committed. And the ultimate power they have, which is the power of the budget, of appropriating money, they're showing their commitment. So let's just work together. Don't get mad, get glad. Make a call, and we'll fix the problem, okay? That's nothing specific. I just hear a lot of rumblings every week about different events, so I'm trying to keep up. All right, Alex Connects and Brown Water, big one. Water discoloration and quality is different from water problems that are dangerous. That's not an excuse. I don't want my water discolored. I don't want aesthetic problems any more than I definitely don't want any danger, right? We test it. I know y'all hear us win awards, and if you're at home and you've had brown water, you don't want to hear about that. You want to hear something different. So I got some ideas on that. Tanya, do you want to, I don't have to, did you want to say, did I miss something?
You're good.
You sure? Okay. Sorry. I am going to task my team, and I have had this vision to do this, and we're going to do it as part of that whole connection that I said in my last State of the City. I want to build into our Alex Connects app in our Q Alert system, a report system specific for brown water. It's not hard to do. It'll take a minute, but it's not hard, and it's possible to do, where we have sort of an Alex Corrects part, and we'll have a water quality protection. So what we want to do is start having that reported in so we can start, Jim, knowing where it is and grouping it. I'm telling you guys up front, we're about to start flushing to keep that water, that fire rating 1. The fire department's going to start flushing everything. Everyone's going to see some sediment in their water. Doesn't mean it's dangerous, but you're going to see some aesthetic change to water quality. It's because we're going to be flushing all those hydrants. In addition to that, we want to start getting these patterns down. What happens is, it's sort of like, there's a lot of things in life where this happens, where you swear it's going on, right? You don't want to be the boy or girl who cried wolf, but as soon as you bring the people out to see what was happening, guess what? Not happening anymore. So I experience brown water at my home. I have not personally determined, I think I know the answer, whether it's city or my pipes. So my side of the meter or the city side of the meter, okay? So then we get to the question of, well, who's that on? So here's what I want to also offer. These are policies that I've been thinking about, and I know I'll get council support, but we've got to walk into them carefully. So if it's behind the meter, that's different, then that's yours. If your pipes are rusty or have problems, that's yours. The problem comes from what? How do you determine that? How do we know? So here's where the help comes in. We're going to create a new assistance system and a possible grant program. Words are important. You could possibly get a grant. It doesn't mean everyone can get a grant. There will be qualifications, like we did with Restore. You have to qualify. It will not be a loan, as neither was Restore. It will be if you qualify, and I think, this is just starting in my head, but the first set of ideas would be, it would look a lot like LIHEAP qualification. We'd look at household income and those kinds of things. But in this program, we would address individual brown waters of significance, and I'll put that in quotes, because I haven't written a definition for it yet, but I have an idea of what of significance will mean. It'll be both quantitative, right, and qualitative. The quality or level of the problem and how often it's happening. So that will be a way to look at it. We're going to need partners on this, but we can get this done way better than we're doing it. Obviously, it can't be every call. That's why we want to get this grouping done. Marcus and those guys are doing a flushing system where, if you imagine, you got all this around the city of infrastructure, you flush in a way to start cornering the water, if you will, cornering the problem, figuring out where it is. That's going to take a lot of help. But you know what it takes most of? You at home reporting it faithfully each time. So we're going to be asking for you to report it more, not less, because that's how we're going to chase the problem. So here's the idea. Boy, our local plumbers will love this. Local qualified plumbers, and there's going to be a little RFP, RFQ that goes out. They get to participate and get an opportunity to earn on this one. If we call people out because you meet the of significance component, the city will sponsor that going out to make that determination. I have to get a public purpose declared. I have to make sure I follow the Constitution and commensurate values. Mr. Chair, you know how, Dr. Chair, you know how that works. It's not easy. I have to do all of that balancing in place first. It'll get done, and it can be. And we'll have those folks go out. If it's on your side of the meter, and after you've had fair notice of the possibility or probability it's your side, If you qualify and get in the program, it's your side of the meter, you're going to owe for that one, unless you fall under the grant portion, two different sides. You would owe for that one. If it's not on your side, the city will pick up the tab for having done this for the public purpose. Remember, we're not just paying for people to get new pipes. No one gets new pipes out of this. It's not being offered. We can't do that. It's illegal. But we can pay to determine and corner the problem. And so we're going to create this system to go chase this down. If it's not on your side, the city will cover the determination, and we're all informed. So if it's not your pipes, then you at least have that knowledge now. That knowledge is power. You get to make decisions about your house and your own life. We know now it's on the city. That gets some kind of priority that we have to think about. Just because you participate and you can use that notice, it does not authorize individual fixes. We can't, we can't work at your house, but we also can't go say that street has to be fixed first. We have to look at this holistically, but it's going to give us information we need. I've been thinking a lot about it for 2 years, Cynthia, and it's such a again, the metaphor is chasing something around and trying to corner it. You can imagine water is everywhere, moving through our systems of infrastructure. This is a tough one. And there are just a lot of houses that still have galvanized pipe that is rusting out, and it's hitting your sink. And sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it could be both. Think about how tough that is. You might have a pipe problem on your side of the meter, and you might have a city problem on the other side. It makes it that much harder to determine. We know it's happening, but we do routinely, every test we do has determined so far that we have not found dangerous levels of iron or anything yet. So that means when you say aesthetic, that means how it looks, feels, tastes. That's still not good enough, right? And it also is an indicator of a larger problem, aging infrastructure, both at your home and in the city. So we're committed. I hope that shows you that commitment. I know I 4 council members in here, so I'm pretty sure, I don't see any heads going no. I see smiles, so I'm pretty sure we'll get some support for this program. We got to get funded. We got to get the commitments of the policy of how it works, because as soon as we make this kind of announcement and it hits the news, somebody will start tomorrow saying, can I get my pipes fixed, right? So just understand, I'm a big boy. I can deal with that when it happens. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, about all this information that I gotta thank you for providing is truly useful. And we have been getting many calls because people does not understand the situation. And personally, I didn't have groundwater, luckily, so I'm also kind of new into this topic. But I wanted to ask you, you said that it hasn't reached dangerous levels. Are we getting close to that mark? Do you think that for now we're safe?
No, we have no evidence that it's at all reaching that. Each time someone makes a call and the state tests it, that we have, I guess, Marcus, more than one test when it occurs. We have not seen at any time, not only not reaching dangerous levels, but any other issues with it. Our water quality remains real high. Alexandria, just so people know, is probably the best water in the state overall. Our Kisatchie well system water tastes the best, looks the best, feels it's great water. The hardness, everything about it is right. I think what you're seeing is an aging infrastructure of pipes through the city and homes that have never converted from galvanized to PVC or other material. And so this is not like cities where you hear about water quality where it's dangerous to people. It's not a good problem to have, but it's a way better issue than those issues. So we'll be able to work on it. So no danger.
Okay. And also about what you said with the public, my mission personally is to transmit the messages to them so they can understand it clearly. So if we can work on some tips to be able to pretty much translate all that information to them, then it would be great for them to
Okay.
collapse
Yes.
phone lines for you guys and also for us.
Okay. We will be happy to work on doing that. We're going to be putting together, obviously, a package to market it, but we'd be happy to partner with News on how to get that out. It's going to be needed to give people access. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So They were just asking exactly what the next point was. Resource planning will take a lot. We're gonna have to get this mapping out there. Then here's our commitment. If it gets mapped into this, when it gets mapped in, these are gonna be P1, P2 projects, Jim. So when we see that we've got a real map of the city and where the problems are and we've chased it down, those are the places we're gonna put the capital money first. We will consider it a P1 or P2. For those of you who don't know, priority 1, priority 2 capital funding means we've declared it either an emergency or an infrastructure need that affects drainage, water quality, one of those high things, okay? So real money will be budgeted. But right now, for us to just go put together a project like we do ABC projects or other things doesn't make sense because we're chasing an unknown right now. We need to get this down, okay? So I'm going to open up to public comment on brown water. So from the public, anybody that has a comment, we're supposed to sign in an hour ahead. I'm not going to hold you to it today. Comments? We had some, which were good. You got me here. It's too many of my own folks, though, here. And the council. Okay. I would have thought the brown water public comment open today would have brought some folks in here to ding me up a little bit. I was ready. Okay. I will have an additional public comment period throughout these as we talk about it. Council questions on it.
So, just to clarify, on Alex Connects, there's gonna be some place where, there is already?
There
Okay.
is.
So, we could direct people if they are experiencing brown water, report it through Alex Connects?
Yes.
So that we can start narrowing down the location?
You can do it now, as your colleague sitting next to you said. You can do it now, and that's how we respond now on our Q alert. What we want to create is a special, this gets batched out differently so we can start gathering the data. Instead of it just being one thing, we need to have this where it's captured and collated in a way that'll start making a pattern. It kind of does it now. We can go back and look and tell our system all the brown water complaints, but we need software that writes for us, here's where it's happening, and get to those patterns. I know it can be done, it's going to be an expense, but I don't think a terrible one. I also think it lets us market this differently, that we would have it kind of separated. We need people to not just do it, we really need to chase this down and figure some
Do we
things
know
out.
where all our pipes are yet?
Say again?
Do we know where all our pipes are?
You mean through GIS location?
I know a few years back, we didn't, I mean, we had to go.
We are, so I will always say that you can always discover an abandoned part or some redundancy that got canceled out and maybe it's still connected by one end and not another. A city this age, you're gonna have that, but generally speaking, we're mapped out better than we've been before.
We did that a few years back.
Another source of rusty water can be the hot water heater too.
That's right.
Lots of times it's that. That's
Our
pretty-
partners on the news have to help us with that. We need to have a tip sheet, just like a hurricane plan sheet, what you're gonna do, we can have, this is what you do when you first detect water, go do these things. Look, you do this at your home on everything else, right? You start having trouble with your internet, what do you know to do? Unplug it all and reset it. You have trouble with cable, you unplug it. This is the same kind of thought we're gonna have to do. You go hit the simple things first, and if it doesn't cure it, you go to the next level. All right, public safety updates. Where are we on community service officers? Tanya? Or Lisa?
We're creating, working with Mason to create testing for those applicants that we've identified.
How many have we identified now?
I think we're up to, I think more than that.
I think 8.
Yeah.
8? Then what's going to be the total amount when we get to where we're going?
Our goal is 12.
12.
2 supervisors and 10.
So again, a force multiplier in our parks everywhere else as we battle like everybody, getting the right amount of police, this is going to help us a lot. So they're not police, but they will have the authority to go and investigate the things that are happening and really provide a safety net in our parks and in our recreation areas. Okay,
Also, Mayor.
Yes.
I think the public safety commissioner has worked on an academy for those applicants that will have to complete that.
great. So we'll have a little academy for them. That's going to be wonderful. They're going to get real training. Some of them may have been former or were doing things in law enforcement, military police, or anything else. So they're going to be a good group. All right, so water reporting, you're hearing some where we're going on that, our vision for that, and need of partners. Did I hear somebody? Enhanced security, expected everywhere, expected in everything we do. When you have to go through a little more red tape that will make streamlined to have your event at your park, elsewhere, understand there are reasons for that. There are also other reasons that have nothing to do with security. If you're having an event at an open city park, you can't close a park to other people's use for a charged event where you're going to charge people. Why? Because you don't own the park. The park is for everybody. Can you lease and rent certain items? Yes. And then you have to have security, et cetera. So we're going to keep educating people. I know Tanya didn't do a good job, but I also know when you don't get the event your way, and it's been done that way before, you're not happy. And we get that. But we have to change how we do things to get a better result. And that's what we're doing. But I promise you, we're here to work with you. Okay, public safety updates, community service officers, right direction challenges. I promised that we would be so quick today. So I'm canceling the challenges part, but we're going to pick right back up at my next one with that. And I'm not going to go over the reignite budget amendment. I'll pick right back up with that. We talked about some events. We can talk a little more about the parks, give you guys a chance to look, make sure we like our list, and we can get some visuals up. But I do want to finish this, right direction. TTCT, turning the corner with technology.
Another acronym.
So, I was going to blame it on the chief, but I did that one. Y'all knew I did it because it's an acronym, but listen, cameras, we keep getting asked. We have cameras in a lot of places. And we're about to do a new round, a new phase of cameras with a whole different technology. You can ask, and we can tell certain things to the council more than citizens, and we can tell citizens about how much they cost, those kind of things. I am going to. I know I'm about to take it in the neck for you're not being transparent, but the type of technology we use and where, be no reason to do it if that's what we tell everybody. We can't let bad guy know where we deploy things. That makes no sense because bad guy or bad girl will literally not do the thing under that camera. And so that would make no sense to have a map of where all the security in the city is. That's like saying, here's the target, get me. And we're not going to do that. So there's going to be a little pushback there. But when I tell you we're turning the corner with use of technology, 2 force multipliers that make a difference in policing. Community services, you've heard, with our officers, will start putting boots on the ground, but it's technology that allows that, not just cameras, drones, all of those things do things that otherwise a person would have had to do, except a person can't fly, and a person can't get over a tree line, and a person can't cross a wide diversion body, but they can. Cameras and drones specifically with cameras. All of those things are helping us. There's different types of drones. There's drones that can go in a house. There's drones that do a lot of things that keep people safe. They keep our officers safer. They keep the public much safer around an event, and guess what? They save even the bad guy or the bad girl. They keep them safer from an event escalating to a death, to the use of force that requires deadly force. So we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep turning the corner with technology, and we are now. But we want to aggressively protect the placement and security that surrounds it. So let's talk about some year-to-dates. Shootings year-to-date in 23, my first full year in, 26 homicides at this time, 7. In 24, shootings year-to-date would have been 14, homicides 5. Year-to-date in 25, 11 shootings, 2 homicides, 1, and listen, I apologize for this because it sounds so clinical when you report this way. We're talking about lives when we use these numbers. I'm saying them as numbers, but in each of those statements is a family and a life, victim or assailant. It's still a life. There's still a mom grieving, even if her kid was the bad guy or the bad girl. They're still grieving. So I want to say that up front, but year-to-date now, 11 shootings, 2 homicides, one of which was the very unfortunate homicide-suicide situation. So one of those goes into the account. One goes into the count. So we are doing better each year. You can't deny those metrics. Things are getting better. When I look at the totals, those were year-to-date for those years, 23. We had 23 homicides in 2023. And if we look at the projection of where we are now, we are so much better. And I'm going to say, I don't ever like to predict these things because you can't, but I can look at the trends and see that we're doing better. I gave a lot of data, a few of these back, and unpacked who, what, when, where, and how, and we've got to do better to interdict that. So I'm going to end with that today on a positive note, and I will pick back up at the next briefing on what we call our consensus amendment on Reignite. And I will also, again, commend the council for not only the work that occurred, but the spirit in which it was done and the way things were handled. I not only personally appreciated it, I think the city does. And I want to remind the council, because unfortunately for the council, they meet every 2 weeks. Chairman, you know, when the room's hot and they're coming in here only every so often, you're only hearing a reflection or seeing the folks that took the time and are mad. They're not coming here because they're happy, unless it's an award ceremony. They're usually coming because they're not happy about something. So you're going to see that, and it can influence and make you think that the folks not happy with where we're going is way more than it is. I will tell you that we're out there, all of us, the council is too, and people can see a good direction. It isn't where I want it to be, but this city is a lot cleaner. MacArthur and other areas, and we're going to keep getting that better. That is a reflection of how we feel about ourselves that must get better. We're moving in the right trends and directions altogether with public safety, no question. We have brought the utility back from the brink to being in better stead than it's been in many years, and we're going to continue to work together. We've got a quality product in our budget that's out. I did listen and hear, and so did the council. Whether people knew it or not, we put the draft budget up before passage. We'll keep getting it where we can get it up sooner. I know people, why can't you do it? Because we work on it up until it's turned in. And so to put out pieces while we're still making changes, you know, people could say, you do it anyway. It's not that easy. Actually, it's made in pieces until the end when it's PDF. But we'll get better and make sure that we do that. We don't mind people weigh it in on the budget process at all. So anyway, thank you so much. I'll take any other questions and we'll shut it down. Thank you, Gary. I hadn't had an attempted applause. That was an attempted applause. It was. I didn't get a real applause. I got an attempted applause. That's pretty good. Y'all are welcome. 8 minutes over. Thank you.